Hello everyone, welcome to another video and welcome to this week's GT Sport Daily Race C Strategy Guide. And this week we are heading to Spain and it's Circuit de Catalunya, just outside Barcelona, and we are in Group 3 machinery. So let's take a look at the settings for this one. 10 laps to negotiate, so fairly short race going by that. Fuel consumption at times 2, tyre wear at times 6, and looking at the tyres we only have the racing hard tyre available. So no mandatory tyre for this one, unfortunately. And as I said, we are at Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya Grand Prix layout. So the same layout that the F1 cars use. So let's take a closer look at the circuit. 4.655 kilometres in length, and that is turns 1 and 2 that we're looking at, called ELF apparently. Turn 8 is Campsa, which is a fast right-hander and one of the tougher corners on the track. The turn 9 that's at the end of the straight after La Campsa is La Caxia. It's a very tight hairpin where you're going to expect to see some dive bombs, and finally we've got the turns 14-15 chicane, which is everyone's favourite corner in motorsport. So let's take a look at some race action now, and first up we'll just get the fuel out the way. So fuel consumption is only at ×2, and it will come as no surprise for you to learn that fuel is going to be no issue whatsoever for this one. We've just started lap 2 here on a 10 lap run, and you can see the fuel indicator is saying we have 10 laps available. So the car we've picked for this one is the AMG Mercedes Group 3 car. Reason being that last time we sort of came to Barcelona in Group 3 machinery, this was quite a favoured car. I think mostly at that point because it was quite good in fuel, and that happened to be a fuel limited race that time. But this time I'm picking it just because it's a good all-rounder car and Barcelona has a little bit of everything. So we join the action here halfway through lap 6, halfway through the race, or just over halfway through the race, and the reason we're just taking a little bit of a look at this part of the footage is just to see how those tyres are holding up. So we are on a no-stop strategy here, as you probably expect from the settings. That looks like the most favourable way to go about this race. Coming towards the end of the 6th lap, the tyres are in absolutely no danger whatsoever of giving up their grip. A little bit of tyre wear as you would expect, but that's only at ×6 on the hard tyres. You wouldn't really expect the tyres to be too much of a problem. Jumping forward to lap 10, coming into the sort of tight, twisty, tricky Mickey Mouse last sector of this track. Obviously the tyres are a little bit worn now, so I've taken a quick look at the lap times. You can see we're in the sort of mid to late 46s earlier on. Lap 4 we did actually make quite a big mistake, so that should have been in the 46s as well. We've kind of then dropped into the low 47s, and we've kind of kept the lap times in that kind of region right through the end of the race. Now we are starting to lose a little bit of grip as the race does come into those last couple of laps. You can just sort of take a closer look at the tyre wear there. So it's that left rear that seems to be doing the most work. That'll be that sort of long radius right-hander at turn 3 that'll be doing all the damage there. But the finishing time for the no-stop coming in at 17 minutes 56.7. So I didn't really think there'd be a lot of value in doing the one stop in terms of being a competitive strategy, but I do think it is worthwhile doing just to sort of get that comparison. So just coming out the chicane there at the end of lap 5, we're going to peel off into the pits. We'll take on a new set of hard tyres. We'll just get an idea of just how much lap time we can maybe gain with the fresh tyres and the lower fuel load. Now I didn't measure the pit stop out exactly for this one. I had a rough idea what it was going to be, but sort of basing it on the in and the out lap, the pit loss comes in at approximately 8 seconds. I think it's a little bit under 8 seconds, but obviously quite a big loss anyway. Coming out the pits, this is just something you should always remember in any race that requires a pit stop. It's always worthwhile to practice the sort of pit, obviously the pit entrance as well, but also the pit exit, so you know where your braking point is as you come out the pits. So we'll just jump forward here to lap 10. We've actually tried to push quite hard in this second stint to see if we get some strong lap times in. Although we are faster than what we're doing in the no-stop, I didn't actually really get a particularly clean lap in. Everyone did have a bit of a mistake. So we're kind of lapping the sort of mid to late 46s, but really we should be in the low 46s. You can see from the optimal time there, it's a 46.0. So that is what the car was capable of in that second stint. But even so, they were coming in at 4 seconds slower than the no-stop time. Now with the best will in the world, if I'd been able to go gain 2 seconds more than what I did over that last sector, that's still going to be nowhere near enough to sort of overhaul the no-stop. So for this one, it's definitely a no-stop strategy. Don't think that'll come as too much of a surprise to anyone with any experience in the game. The settings, as soon as I seen them, screamed out no stop to me, and I think it would to sort of most people who kind of got some experience in the game. But just to recap very quickly on the strategy, as I said, it is a no stop. Don't have to worry about fuel, and the tyres will mostly be okay for at least the first 6-7 laps. You will start to experience a little bit of tyre wear towards the end of the race, and the car's starting to give up a little bit of grip. Now, if you haven't watched my video that I released a few days ago in terms of how to look after your tyres, then maybe worth taking a look at that, because some of the advice and sort of tips that I've put forward there would be quite apt for this race to help keep your tyres in good shape towards the end, because I think that's where all the action is going to come. And it is just enough tyre wear in the race to make it sort of quite interesting over that last 2-3 laps, I think. In saying that, I do think there's a little bit of a shame that PD have decided to go down this way with this race. I think with a couple of little adjustments to the settings, we could have had that really interesting race here. Had we had the medium tyre available, we could have made the hard tyre mandatory. I think that would have came out pretty close between the one stop and the no stop that way. Obviously you could do the no stop on the hard tyres, and then just you'd have this sort of one stop, medium to hard or hard to medium. We could even have upped it to 11 laps, and that could maybe even have brought a 2-stopper into play, sort of doing a double stint on the medium and just a single lap on the hard tyres. But that's just wishful thinking on my part. At the end of the day, I think this will be a fairly interesting and sort of entertaining race anyway. I'll certainly be getting stuck into it myself and get some footage together, and we'll get a race review video out later on in the week for it. Now, before we go, let's take a look at some of the cars I think that might be quite strong around this track. Now, we chose the AMG Mercedes. I think this will be a good car to pick. It's just a sort of jack of all trades when it comes to Group 3. Good straight line speed, good at handling, pretty good on tyres. But I do think in terms of outright pace, something like the Audi is going to be very quick, particularly in qualifying, although that tyre wear towards the end of the race might make it very tricky. Similar story with the car on the screen here, the Lamborghini Huracan. Probably going to be very quick over a single lap, but I don't fancy it come laps 8, 9 or 10 in the race. And of course the Porsche is always a popular car, no matter what race in Group 3. But let's jump back on board the Mercedes, and we shall finish the video with a bit of a lap guide. Of course this is a race lap, this is not a kind of sort of lap that you're going to be doing in qualifying, so don't take this as reference if you're trying to do find time in your qualifying lap. This is done under race conditions with tyre wear and fuel, of course. So coming out the last corner there, we're heading down towards turn 1 and 2 of Elf. Now my sort of braking point, and I think sort of what most people use, is this black box on the left hand side there. That's your reference point. Sort of try and compromise your speed into turn 1 so you can get a better line through at turn 2 and into turn 3. Turn 3 very important on this track, as you want to be hugging that curb on the inside as much as you can. As soon as you think you can get the power down, sort of let the car drift wide, don't run it onto the marbles, and you can pick up a lot of lap time there. Braking just before the bridge into this corner here, down into second gear, early upshift into third, just to keep the back end stable, and we come into a corner where there is really no reference to find a braking point. I find that I have to guess it most of the time. Need to get a good exit out there. You can make a lot of lap time up on the exit there. Coming into the sort of chicane, braking just before the curb. Be very careful on the exit of this corner. It's very easy to run wide and pick up a half-second penalty. Same as coming into La Campsa. Just come off the brakes, let the car roll in, and as soon as you think you're going to sort of get the power down, do so. Again, do not run wide on that corner, because that is another very easy corner to pick up a half-second penalty. Come into La Caxia. Again, you're looking for this black box here. It's on the sort of gantry. Braking just there, I think it's just before the 100 metre board. Overslow the car into that corner. Make sure you've got the car nice and straight before you get on the power. You can sort of screw the back end out. Keep it nice and tight into this right hander here. And you're looking for the sort of tyre marks. You can use one of them as a reference. I use this bit where they come a bit of a Y there that you might have seen. That's my sort of reference for braking into this sort of tight right hander. Try to keep it nice and tight on the exit, and then braking at the overhead gantry there. Take lots and lots of curb, but not too much, but you will pick up a penalty. And just try and get the first part of that chicane. Make sure you've got the middle of the car, or the sausage under the middle of the car, and you should be okay. That corner will be pretty tricky in the MR cars though, if you do decide to take them out. And that is the end of the lap guide for this one. Hopefully there's been some useful information within the video to get you started for this one. Please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I do appreciate it all. And until the next video, thank you very much for watching and goodbye.